Okay, this is the one we pulled out of the car. This is the spare one that I've got. They pretty much look to be in the same condition. And it looks like it's going to have to be modified straight out of the packet. So what's unusual about that? And this one's a little bit more dirty. We need to undo those 4 screws so we can have a look inside there. I hope that's dirty, because if it's not, what? Now they'll be put in with a rattle gun, even though they're screws. Oh, they're different. The throttle bodies are different. Look at that. They're actually different. That's crazy. They got rid of this edge part. That's insane. That's crazy. 78A50, 78A50. Same part number. That's crazy. This is just the updated one, I guess. Why don't I just put that one in? That's probably asking for a whole lot more trouble. Alright, I have to get them out somehow, so I'll get that done, and then... because otherwise I have to turn the GoPro off, otherwise we're going to run out of battery. Right, I managed to lock this in a vise and use some different these are shit. Use some different vice grips, and I did get it to come loose. Now we'll have to steal a different screw off that one. Right. You. Get that off there. Oh, yes. Okay, that is nice. That is good to see what I'm seeing there. Can you see that? Probably not, because we're filming with a GoPro. Yeah, look at the light. Look at the lighting of it, would you? You can't see anything. Useless. Don't buy a GoPro. Anybody that tells you GoPros are good is a fanboy. We've got a bit of sludge and shit build up in here. Looks like kind of rust type shit, which is good to see. And here we've got rust type build up shit as well. What we really need to look at though is this here. So I need to get the correct tool to remove that. Are they the same part number? Can we switch them? 78A50, they're the same part number. So if I want to, I could put that one on here. Yes, okay, so that's that. Let's clean all this shit off and then turn the camera back on. 8, 9, yeah. Nice and fast turn on. Hate GoPro. Right, so we're here. These are what I've bought to clean this with. I don't think this is the problem. I don't. Yes, it's corroded, but I mean, I just don't think that's the problem. Perhaps it's this, but yeah. So, I mean, let's drown it in parts cleaner and see what that does. Get that off first, though. Okay, correct tools. Who wants to place bets that they won't be able to come out for some reason? Place your bets. Ready? What are the odds? That's the wrong one. It's also the wrong one. And that one doesn't fit either. Is it a 1.5 or do I just not have the... I don't have the right tool to get that undone with. What are we going to do? We're going to butcher them out and then put normal screws in. That might be the way to go. Right, so I think the fact that I don't have... I mean, I got a whole toolbox full of tools, but I don't have the right thing to get that undone. They're coming out whether they like it or not. Those are coming out. I'm going to inspect this. So whether I have to use a die grinder and cut a slot in it so that I can use a screwdriver, or whether it will let go with vice grips, they're coming out. So Mikuni, you put those screws in, you wasted your time because I'm taking this apart. You wasted your time, but what I'm pissed off about is you're wasting my time. I don't have time to sit here with vice grips and with this because you thought that the consumer shouldn't pull this apart. Well, most people don't pull their car apart. Only people that think they know what they're doing do. To be fair, I should probably just take this one off, throw it away, and put that one on. Can we get this one off? Let's use this. These could both be ruined. How would you even know? I could test it, but the test looked complicated. That's why I didn't just do it. Well, this is a lot cleaner. Both of them look fairly dirty on this side of the port, though. I'm going to pull them both apart and have a look. Right, so we need to get those out. I'll be back in a second when they're out. Not that difficult to get out. They're not tight. I just used this screwdriver and tapped on the edge like that, and it spun it out. Now, I have looked at this on the parts diagram. This is spring-loaded, so be careful when you pull this out if you ever do this. Don't try this at home. And all that shit. I don't know if there's an orientation to this. These are $300 and something, so don't f it up. Oh, it's magnetized, is it? Oh, wow, okay. It is. It's magnetized. Right. Okay. Right. Can you put it back together wrong? Yes, you can, so be careful with that. This is what it is. It's got a little bearing in there. You probably don't want to pull this apart, to be honest. Using parts cleaner in there might not be good either because you're going to wash all of the oil out of that bearing. Also, pulling this apart, there's a little rubber seal there that you want to be careful not to damage. This could leak now. And it could be leaking anyway. That could be the problem, that it's leaking, that seal isn't sealing anymore. It kind of really only goes back together one way. So this one looks better. No way to know if it is better. Let me put these back in. Temporary. Oh, it's adjustable. Oh dear, look at that. It's adjustable. See that? These are elongated, so you probably don't want to pull this apart. Although doing so would allow you to adjust the idle. That it's not a huge jump. This isn't exactly accessible once it's in the car, so I guess they set it from factory and then they use these screws so that people don't adjust it at all. But when it's not working, it's not working. So what do you do now? Well, putting that one in might not make it any better. But putting this one back in is not going to make it better either. So I'm going to get rid of that one. And I'm going to use this one. But I might just clean it up a bit. Use a little bit of parts cleaner in these areas here. This is looking very clean. How are we doing here? Oh, I can see daylight through there. Like the light coming in this side, that's super clean. So The water side of this is perfect. I'm happy with. Welcome back. I've been busy while you've been dead. So what we've done is we've discovered that parts cleaner destroys these gaskets. So before you do anything with parts cleaner, if you want to reuse the rubber gasket, get it the hell out of the way, because it takes the tension out of the gasket. There's a ring one around here I can show you a perfect example of. It's around here somewhere, if I can find it. Here it is, here. Okay, so let me just throw it on the ground real quick. I've got my box of O-rings out because I was trying to replace this O-ring. That's not going to happen because the O-rings in this kit are too thick. Now you can see that this actually fits on this perfectly to put it back in. But because this gasket here has, or this O-ring has seen parts cleaner, it actually stretched itself out to be way too big to be used anymore. This fits perfect, but it's too thick. This one is the original one. It doesn't fit anymore. So keep this. This is the same. Look at that. It's just stretched itself out to the point where it's no longer usable. These are cheap, so if you're ever going to do this, order a couple of them. Just in case you need some extras. So that's now trash. That's trash too, and I can't use that either because it's too thick, and I actually had to destroy it to get it back out again. So I only have, let's have a look at this one. Yeah, that's even big. Look at that. That'll never fit back in there. So this would be reusable, I think, as long as you keep the parts cleaner away from it. So that's trash as well. Now I only need one of these, so I'm going to run with the original one, and that's because I've heard that if you switch throttle bodies, you have to switch ECUs. I don't have a spare ECU, so I'm not trying to go down that rabbit hole. Now I think the only reason why that would be the case, put that back in there, would be if the sensors are different. Now all the sensors on this are the same. So, well, I mean, to the naked eye, and I believe they're the same part numbers, but I mean, there might be some small difference inside it. Yeah, there is. Look. Yeah, throw it on the ground. Wheel crick. You can see this is different. So this is the one that came off the van. This is, I guess, a later model one. Well, I mean, it is a later model one. This one has a NOx sensor and everything on the engine, so we're not going to use that. If this fails, maybe I'll think about using this one, but I'll need to order new gaskets and things. I know what you're thinking. Why doesn't it have a hat on? I just don't have one with me right now. In order to keep this video a little bit shorter than 20 odd minutes, I decided to cut it there. There will be another video out tomorrow with the continued saga of throttle bodies. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, hit the like button. If you'd like to see what happens next, press subscribe. If you'd like to support this channel, you can do that by getting your name on the Garage Kei door or picking up some merch. Details on those things and a few other things are in the description, so check that out. Check out the Facebook group, the Instagrams. I will see you in the next episode. Later.